We're glad you're with us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Kyle Clark. Day 29 of the government shutdown. A new report estimates that if this drags on for another month, the U.S. economy will lose $14 billion.
It's money that would not be recovered when the shutdown ends. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office released that estimate today. It projects real gross domestic product will drop by $7 billion in a 4-week shutdown, and that number will double in an 8-week shutdown. The CBO points out more than 1 million workers are going without pay, so they're likely spending less and in turn contributing less to the economy.
If the shutdown continues into the weekend, SNAP food benefits will dry up. 600,000 Coloradans rely on those. Half of those are children. 15% of recipients in our state have disabilities. 10% are elderly. Food banks in KUSA County, Colorado's poorest county, are preparing for high demand. At 41%, they have Colorado's highest percentage of the population on SNAP.
What would be my ask, right, of the government, And so I would just kind of like to see Congress not allow this shutdown to continue.
As part of their contingency planning, leaders in KUSA County are stockpiling military-grade meals ready to eat, MREs. They typically have some on hand for people who live off the grid, but they may be handed out to other people soon. A farm in Boulder County has food to give, but they're short on the people to harvest it.
9 News reporter Colton Chavez takes us to Lafayette with their solution.
Ew, my shoes are dirty.
Get some farm shoes.
Good help can come in all shoe sizes.
Those are some nice peppers.
Friends Farm in Lafayette says the more feet, the merrier.
A bunch of new people that haven't been out here before.
Since the government shut down, food banks are struggling to stay stocked.
Yeah, there's some good ones here still.
The farm's founder, Oliver Arand, says he has the extra food. He just needs the extra hands.
But it's just all this food kind of just sitting here. So if it's volunteers, it makes it real easy to just have them come get it and donate it.
10 volunteers showed up to help him wash and bag a variety of produce, all being donated to Boulder County food banks.
A kale, a bunch of carrots. He's like, I need some help. I said, I'd be happy. I miss my garden.
And volunteers like Mark today were very busy. I mean, these aren't very light packages. And Oliver tells me over 100 pounds of produce went out today, and they have another day on the way.
Yeah, I think with what's going on now, people are seeing the need for it more.
A need for good help so they can feed more mouths in Boulder County.
Feels good to get a lot done, and there's like more to do, and I think that's a good thing because there's always more we can do to help.
In Lafayette.
You all done?
Colton Chavez, 9 News.
You saw the skies there, bright blue. It was a nice, cool October day, and we're in for a repeat tomorrow. 9 News Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin is with us with our forecast.
Yeah, cool is one word for this morning. Cold would be another.
Cold, yeah.
Yeah, icy would be another. 21 degrees, the coldest morning of the season so far, but compliments of southwest winds. We went from teens and 20s around dawn this morning to 60s by the afternoon, a 40-degree temperature jump, and that was nice. These numbers for the afternoon are seasonal highs, and many areas will be as warm again tomorrow. So we're looking at current readings a lot milder than what we saw this time last night. 48 here at the studios, 45 in Fort Collins, and 37 in Greeley. 24-hour temperature change. We are 10 to 20 degrees warmer this hour right now than we were 24 hours ago at this time. So it's been kind of a wild weather swing over the past week or so, and there's still a little bit of wind over elevated terrain. We're tracking an approaching storm that's bringing in a little bit of cloud cover, but it really will have little impact on Denver as temperatures slide into the 30s overnight. Not as cold as last night. A mild, dry stretch of weather, and right now Halloween looks good. Cool and dry with temperatures in the mid-40s when you step out and close to 40 when you head back in at 9 o'clock.
In a Truth Social post tonight, President Trump announced the U.S. will begin testing nuclear weapons immediately. The president is in South Korea and posted this just before his highly anticipated meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. He wrote, "Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis." The United States voluntarily stopped nuclear explosive testing in 1992. The announcement comes after Russia said it tested a new long-range nuclear-powered underwater weapon on Wednesday. An investigation into a Denver Public Schools board member found he more likely than not engaged in belittling and biased behavior towards district staff, some of them people of color, but it found no evidence of overt racism.
This report that cost the district $78,000 investigated one of the superintendent's most vocal critics. 9 News reporter Ria Jaz along now, and Ria, board held a special meeting to talk about this today.
Yeah, and for context, this investigation began when Superintendent Alex Marrero sent a letter to the board back in April, citing concerns about board member John Youngquist, saying stuff about the treatment about his staff. So tonight they talked about what to do, but also whether this has taken too much time and money away from their students.
Welcome to today's special meeting of the Denver Public Schools Board of Education.
At a time when the students in Denver Public Schools need us more than ever to advocate for them.
A board meant to serve students spend an evening debating themselves.
We're spending time on the actions of an individual board member.
The independent investigation into Denver Public School board member John Youngquist was the topic of Tuesday's special meeting.
Allegations that Mr. Youngquist discriminated against district staff on the basis of race.
Superintendent Alex Marrero is now calling for his censure. The report found it's, quote, more likely than not that Youngquist showed bias and spoke to some staff in, quote, belittling, dismissive, and condescending ways, but was inconclusive on whether that bias was deliberate.
Those weren't conclusive enough to meet the standard to indicate that these were deliberate actions. It's very frustrating and confusing to me.
Youngquist pushed back, calling the report retaliatory.
The demand that the superintendent has made for the board to censure me is a personal and professional attack on me that is being carried out for him. He has never once, face-to-face, mentioned any level or type of concern to me.
Throughout the meeting, board members seemed to want one thing from Youngquist.
And what breaks my heart is I didn't hear accountability.
When we do things that harm people, that hurt their feelings, that make them feel a certain way, if we don't take accountability, we cannot move forward.
But I don't know. I don't know who people were, and I don't know what happened when. And accountability, a blanket level of accountability is not something that makes a great deal of sense to me.
The board didn't take any formal action on Tuesday. Until they do, the hope is to get back to the mission.
Let's use this moment not to divide or deflect, but to grow, to become a stronger, more respectful, and more united board, always with the thought of students first.
Again, the board didn't vote whether to censure him or not tonight, but to be clear, a censure wouldn't remove him from the board. He'd still be able to do all the things that he's currently doing. So it's essentially a public reprimand, more symbolic rather than actually disciplinary. They are planning on talking about this again in mid-November, and there is a regularly scheduled public comment session happening tomorrow. Reporting live in Denver, Ria Jha, 9 News.
A new lawsuit accuses Adams County of ending in-person jail visits in order to profit off inmates and their families. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of several children of people who have served time in the jail at Brighton. It accuses the county of exploiting families of inmates by allowing only phone and video visits, and those visits cost money. 15 cents a minute for audio, 20 cents for video.
I want 30 minutes, and then our son wants 30 minutes because he wants to show dad these cool new cars he got for his birthday, and let's go play with them. And then it costs $12 in one day. It would cost almost or more than our grocery bill during a month to talk on the phone.
The lawsuit claims that since 2020, the county's collected more than $3 million in fees for phone and video visits. The county attorney and a spokesperson for the sheriff's office declined to comment. The company that operates that phone system didn't return our messages.
The city of Aurora is making some money off its relatively new 3 strikes policy. For the past year, police have taken cars from drivers who get pulled over with no insurance, no registration, and no driver's license all at once. Police have seized roughly 1,500 cars under that policy. 219 have sold at auction for nearly $262,000. Mayor Mike Kaufman says that money goes towards paying for the impound, with the rest of it going to the city's general fund. The policy has drawn criticism, including from city council members who worry it could drive low-income drivers further into poverty. Others view it as government overreach.
If we didn't have to go to this level, we wouldn't go to this level. But yeah, I saw those comments where, you know, people were, you know, words to the effect that we're sort of pirates seizing these vehicles. But I think, you know, it is a tough policy. We want compliance. The goal is compliance. Look, if somebody's following the law, this is not going to be a problem. If they're not following the law, it's going to be a problem.
Under the policy, drivers are given 30 days to prove to the city they have insurance registration and a driver's license before that car is sold. Records show roughly 85% of drivers are doing that and getting their cars back. This weekend will mark 70 years since the bombing of United Flight 629. 39 passengers and 5 crew members were killed just 10 minutes after that plane took off from Denver.
A new memorial is about to be unveiled to honor those victims and to tell the story that a lot of Coloradans don't know these days. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is here after speaking with the daughter of one of the victims. Shalima?
That's right. For a long time, Marion Peppelmeyer says that her mom just couldn't bring herself to talk about what happened. It was just too difficult. It wasn't until she was actually in her 40s that her mom finally opened up to her. And Marion has been advocating for a memorial for years, and soon that is going to happen.
I wanted to make his life count, and I didn't know how. I wanted to know that he didn't die in vain.
That's part of the reason why Marion Peppelmeyer traveled more than 1,000 miles from Columbus to Denver.
Colorado needs to know their history. I believe the whole nation needs to know this history.
She never had the chance to meet her father. 31-year-old Marion Hobgood was killed when United Airlines Flight 629 was intentionally blown up on November 1st, 1955. According to the FBI, the man responsible placed dynamite in his mother's suitcase in order to collect insurance money.
They were strewn over 160 square acres in the middle of the night, 32-degree weather, in the dark, no electricity, no phone lines.
Marion's mom was 6 months pregnant with her. Her sister was just 15 months old.
There's been no memorial for this Flight 629. No history markers I discovered are up there in Weld County.
That's about to change on Saturday. More than 100 family members of the 44 people on board are expected to show up here at the Flightco Tower, where the old Stapleton International Airport used to be.
You know, the old saying that you die twice, once when you physically pass and once when they stop saying your name. And we hope with this memorial, we can continue to say the victims' names.
Healing hasn't been easy, but Marion is turning her pain into purpose by sharing her story to help others.
What I saw was heroes in action. Everyday farmers, teenagers. I saw the American spirit like I'd never seen before. I thought, wow. And it totally flipped the story for me.
Now, Marion tells me that her faith is something that's helped her through the years, and she was actually on her way to a prayer meeting when she decided to forgive the man responsible for taking her father's life. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.